Tropical beauty, beautiful beaches, amazing food. What's there not to love about Thailand? Well, as it turns out, there's a dark side to living in one of the world's most sought-after tourist destinations too. From petty crime and language barriers to road safety and the dreaded tourist fees, this video serves as an inside look into the dark side of Thailand. Taxi scams. The taxi scam is a lot more prevalent in Thailand than in most tourist destinations. Probably because airports in almost every major city in the country are located several miles away from hotels. The taxi scam isn't just one scam though. It could either be one of the many scams tourists complain of, or possibly even more. You'll notice taxi drivers trying to enthusiastically flag down tourists, in particular at the airport. Wanting to immerse yourself in Thai culture and probably hoping to have a friendly interaction with the local right off the bat, you'll accept their offer to drive you to your hotel. Inside the taxi, the driver will complain that the taxi meter is broken. In this case, politely refuse the ride and get out of the vehicle as quickly as possible. While taxi meters aren't indestructible, you'll notice that almost every driver at the airport has a broken one. In the slim chance that theirs is working, they'll complain about it being jammed midway into the journey. Now again, politely instruct the driver to stop the car and get off as quickly as you can. Taxi drivers charge an inflated rate on the pretense of the taxi meter malfunctioning and then argue that the exaggerated rate is in fact the standard. Also, make sure to take note of your surroundings when you're in a taxi. Most drivers would drive you around in circles. They'll avoid toll lanes and allege that roads are blocked, all in an attempt to raise the fare. There are, however, honest working men and women throughout Thailand. However, the chance of finding them at the airport taxi stand is slim to none. Tuk-tuk scam. Again, the tuk-tuk scam is a lot like the taxi scam. High fares, alleged block roads, and so on. However, there's another element here. A tuk-tuk ride is a part of every tourist's itinerary, and why wouldn't it be? These fun vehicles allow you to soak in all that beautiful Asian country has to offer. And let's face it, where else would you find a tuk-tuk? The sad part though is that drivers realize the chokehold they have on tourists and attempt to scam them every chance they get. They'll usually be parked alongside popular tourist destinations, outside of hotels, and constantly on the lookout for anyone who doesn't look or sound native. Once they lock you in, they'll approach you for a pleasant conversation. You'll be impressed with how well they speak English and continue the conversation. Once the driver knows that they have you interested in a tuk-tuk ride, they'll tell you about all the amazing places to shop at or sightsee in the city. Here is where the scam kicks in. Now that the driver is essentially your friend, they'll take you to these shops and essentially pressure you to buy souvenirs or gems at elevated prices. You might think that there's no way you'll end up paying for something you don't even need, but you'll be surprised at just how persuasive they can be. Of course, the driver has a share of the profits, which is why they take you to these particular shops and streets over anywhere else. So be mindful of an over-friendly man or woman with a tuk-tuk. Road safety concerns. Thailand manages to consistently stay within the top 10 countries with the highest road accident rates. This can be attributed to reckless driving, refusal to abide by traffic law, or even the complete absence of enforcers in many regions. Overspeeding is prevalent in the country, more so in major cities such as Bangkok, where people are constantly trying to get from one corner to the other in the shortest time possible. As such, they'll drive fast in the slow lane, overtake, and speed through curves without a second thought. Now, while safety might not be their concern, it should be yours. Also, it doesn't necessarily matter if you're in the passenger seat either. In fact, pedestrian safety is of major concern for tourists. Drivers often don't yield, which could make traveling through busy streets extremely dangerous. Other factors that would scare you from walking through busy streets would be Thailand's high ratio of drunk drivers, motorcyclists who don't abide by the law, and improper infrastructure that could make accidents almost inevitable. Jai Yen Yen. Also known as saving face, the people of Thailand believe that you have to protect your honor and dignity everywhere you go, but also protect that of others. This includes always being polite, smiling at others, and avoiding confrontation. Now, while all of this might sound like a plus point and probably not something you would expect in a video about the dark side of Thailand, the dark part is coming. A major part of saving face is respecting the hierarchy. That is, youngsters respect their elders, and employees respect the boss. It also includes non-verbal blame or avoiding blame altogether. The people in Thailand take great offense to tourists who do not respect the hierarchy. If you're seen disagreeing with an older shopkeeper or taxi driver who is attempting to scam you, odds are that you're going to be surrounded by a group of angry individuals accusing you of not respecting their culture. Likewise, Thai people tend to take great offense to public displays of affection or even frustration. At the end of the day, you're expected to roam about the city with a cheery disposition no matter how annoyed you might be. And that can be hard for a lot of people. Closed attractions. Mark my words, there will be someone dressed up and holding a placard stating that the Grand Palace is closed for the day. The Grand Palace is one of the most beloved tourist sites in all of Thailand. Every year, thousands of people travel to Thailand just to marvel at its beauty. However, where there are tourists, there will be scammers too. In this case, someone who looks eerily like an official from the Grand Palace would be directing tourists towards the opposite direction, claiming that the site is closed for the day for renovations. They'll then suggest that you take a tour bus to see the whole city instead. In your mind, this might sound like a great deal. You've left the hotel that day to go sightseeing at the Grand Palace anyway, and now you've got a chance to see the entire city. But here's the problem. The Grand Palace wasn't closed at all. The scammers just wanted you to take the bus at a high fare and then travel to shops where they take a commission for every exaggerated tourist sale and probably make more money off you throughout the ride. So while the Grand Palace could be going through renovations, make sure you ask at least one other official before hopping on that bus. Pickpocketing. The pickpocketing epidemic has made its way to Thailand, where it's steadily increasing by the day. These petty criminals are so swift that you won't even realize you're missing a dime until you check your belongings later that day. And the problem is, however, that they never stop at just taking a few dimes. Many tourists have lost all their cash, credit cards, and even passports in the hands of these pickpockets. No matter how alert you think you might be, these petty criminals know how to get the job done. Of course, there are ways you can secure your belongings. The first one is pretty obvious: a lock. And while it might sound unconventional and frankly a hassle to have to lock and then unlock your bag every so often, it's better to spend an extra few seconds on safety than lose a lot of money. Another way would be to keep things in your front pockets. However, be wary of people bumping into you at tourist sites and slyly taking away your wallet. Like I said, they have ways to get the job done. Money exchange. Look, it's very easy to find out the currency exchange rate online, and it's important to remember that most official money exchanges stay within the open market rate. However, it can be hard to pass on a good deal when someone is offering you it for a lot cheaper. You need to stay firm though and tell them that you're not interested. Now, I know this might sound like you missed out on a steal, but you've actually just been saved from having your money stolen. A common scam in Thailand is the money exchange scam that I've just talked about. You'll find people offering you a better rate for your buck at tourist sites or even at actual physical locations. However, these locations offer cheap rates in exchange for paper. Just that, not actual Thai baht. You should only exchange money in local banks or at certified exchange booths that give you a receipt. Also, most of them charge no commission for such a transaction. Keep that in mind. Fake bird poop. This one is actually somewhat commendable for its creativity, but a criminal offense against tourists visiting Thailand nonetheless. The name gives it away, but what happens is that someone sprays a foul-smelling liquid on a tourist and then makes a run for it. This liquid would look and smell a lot like bird poop. You'd obviously be disgusted and look around for something to wipe it off with. Lo and behold, here comes someone with a clean cloth at just the right time running toward you. However, your knight in shining armor is actually a scammer looking to get close enough to steal your wallet, your phone, and anything else you might have in your possession. The best way that you can steer clear of this scam is to keep a clean cloth on you at all times. And there you have it, the dark side of living in Thailand. It's important to remember that scammers and petty thieves exist in every part of the world, and they just so happen to be found in Thailand too. While in a perfect world, there wouldn't be any. The truth is, you shouldn't let this scare you from visiting what is otherwise a gorgeous country with a great climate and amazing places to see. What part of the video shocked you the most? Did you know about any of these crimes and scams in Thailand? Be sure to leave a comment down below and make sure you subscribe so you won't miss out on any new content coming your way. And there's a lot more to come.